I used to spend Sundays with this pit in my stomach, anxious, dreading the week. And I couldn't figure out why. I had the job, the paycheck, the success on paper, but I was exhausted, disconnected, dreaming of quitting, but terrified to actually do it. Turns out I wasn't broken. I was just misaligned. And that's fixable. When you're in the right role, you stop proving yourself through burnout. You start showing up with confidence, presence, peace. If you're tired of tolerating your job, come listen to this episode. It might change everything. Hey everyone, this is Renee Frey from Talent Q, and you're listening to the Conscious Professional Podcast. More people than ever want to be happy in their career and personal life, but they're going about it all wrong. I'm here to set the record straight and emphasize the importance of prioritizing your mindset. If you're new to me, or this is your 50th episode, I am thrilled you're here. Hey everybody, welcome back. This weekend, it felt different. It was peaceful, full of fun, celebrating the 4th of July. Our offices were closed on Thursday and Friday, so for once, my usual 5:30 a.m. alarm stayed off. I slept in, worked out later, took my morning slow, no rush, no work emails, and honestly, it made me pause. Because not long ago, weekends didn't feel like this at all. When I worked at Agilon, a national staffing and recruiting firm, Sundays were tough. By mid-afternoon, I'd feel this pit in my stomach, anxiety, dread, already bracing for Monday before the sun even set. And while everything looked great on the outside, I was in a respected leadership role, solid pay, upward trajectory. Something had shifted. After a major leadership change, I started to feel the misalignment. A couple of senior leaders I respected had left. Then I got a new boss, and it was like an avalanche. Everything started shifting fast. The tone, the priorities, the unspoken expectations. And suddenly the culture didn't reflect my values anymore. The energy was different. The decisions felt off. And the way we operated, it just didn't feel like me anymore. I found myself questioning things I used to stand behind, feeling out of sync with the very work I was once excited about. And that quiet misalignment started showing up everywhere. The culture didn't reflect my values anymore. The way we operated didn't feel like me. And that disconnect bled into everything. My energy was depleted, my motivation disappeared, and slowly my confidence started to fade too. It's wild how something that seems so normal from the outside, a steady job, respected company, a predictable routine, can quietly chip away at your sense of self. If you've ever felt like that heaviness, like the weekend disappears in the blink of an eye, or you're already behind before the week even started, today's episode is for you. We're talking about what changes when you actually find a role that fits, not on paper, but in your real lived experience, in how you wake up, how you show up, how your nervous system responds to your calendar. Because what changed everything for me wasn't just switching jobs, it was stepping into the right role. Once that aligned with how I work, what I value, and how I want to live, and let's be real, no one teaches this. We're taught to chase the title, the raise, the ladder. We get rewarded for burnout. We're praised for pushing through. And we stay in jobs because they make sense to our parents, our mentors, to society. But here's the hard truth. What happens when you check every box and you're still unfulfilled, still exhausted, still low-key resenting your inbox every Monday morning? Let me offer you something different, a new lens. What if success isn't just a promotion or a paycheck? What if success is how your life feels, not just your LinkedIn bio? What if the goal isn't just more, it's peace, presence, alignment? And I want to walk through this gently because if you're in the thick of it right now, you might not even realize it yet. Sometimes we get caught up in the daily grind that we miss the warning signs. But here's what I see over and over again in high performers, in smart, capable professionals, in people who should be happy but aren't. You're overly sensitive to feedback because your tank is already empty. You mentally check out at 2 p.m. and you beat yourself up for it. You keep trying to prove your worth through performance and perfection. You dream about quitting, but the thought of leaving feels terrifying. Or maybe you've just stopped dreaming at all. It's more common than you think. And no, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means something deeper is calling for your attention. If any of that feels familiar, hear me when I say this. You're not broken. You're just misaligned, and that is absolutely fixable. I remember this one Sunday night, I had meal prepped, folded the laundry, mapped out the week, and yet I still felt that rising panic and anxiety. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't tired because I was lazy. I was tired because the role I was in no longer fit. I had outgrown it. But I was clinging to it because it was stable, because it paid well, because everyone else thought it made sense. But deep down, I was checked out, uninspired, and too busy to even acknowledge it. I told myself, maybe it's a rough season. I just need a vacation, that things would get better after the next deadline. But what I really needed was alignment. So let's pause together, take a deep breath, grab a journal or open your notes app on your phone, as long as you're not driving, and just reflect quietly. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I feel like myself in this role? Not the masked version that shows up to survive the day, the real you. Am I spending my energy on work that matters to me? Not just what brings a paycheck, but what lights you up from the inside out. Does this job support my life or compete with it? Your health, your family, your relationships, your time, your peace. And listen, you don't need the answers right away. But when they come, be honest. I want you to be honest when they do show up, because clarity rarely arrives like a lightning bolt. Most of the time, it whispers. It sounds like, this isn't it. I want more than this. Or simply, I'm tired. When I finally stepped into the right role for me, everything softened. I remember waking up that first Monday and noticing something I hadn't felt in years. Calm and excitement. No racing thoughts, no dread in my chest, just space. Poured my coffee, sat at my desk, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was pretending. I wasn't performing. I wasn't pushing. I was just me in a role that matched my energy, my values, and how I wanted to show up in the world. It didn't mean every day was perfect, but I wasn't white knuckling my way through anymore. And that shift changed everything, not just in my career, but how I showed up at home and in my relationships and how I talk to myself. That is the power of alignment. And it wasn't just the logistics that changed. It was how I felt in my own body. This went deeper than having a better calendar or fewer meetings. My nervous system calmed down. I started waking up clear and grounded. I wasn't over-functioning to feel worthy anymore. And I don't just mean my schedule. I led with more confidence. I had room to breathe. And I could actually enjoy my life again. Work wasn't draining me. It became a space where I could create, grow, and thrive without losing myself in the process. Here's what I want you to know. You deserve work that energizes you. Not every single day, but most days. You deserve a job that doesn't force you to shrink, that doesn't make you perform or pretend. You deserve to be proud of how you spend your time. You deserve to feel seen for your strengths. And you deserve to feel safe being you. And if no one's told you this yet, it's okay to want more. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to change your mind about what success looks like. You don't have to tolerate your work. You don't have to dread Mondays. You don't have to choose between stability and joy. You can love your work again. You can feel like yourself again. You can find a role that supports your actual life, not just your resume. And you don't have to figure it all out today, but you can start by telling the truth to yourself. That first step is towards clarity. And if you're not sure what the right role looks like, I've got something for you. Check the description for my free clarity checklist, or shoot me a message on LinkedIn and say, I want this too. I'll meet you where you're at. Until next time, here's to Mondays that feel lighter and careers that finally feel like home. So the key points from today's episode are: misalignment feels like burnout, but it's not about laziness. If you're feeling exhausted, uninspired, or checked out, it may not be because you're doing too much. It might be because you're doing the wrong thing. Success isn't just your job title. It's how your life feels. True success isn't measured by your LinkedIn bio. It's how peaceful, energized, and aligned your life feels day to day. And the first step towards change, tell yourself the truth. You don't need all the answers today. But naming what's no longer working is the beginning of finding that role, that life that actually fits. See you next week on The Conscious Professional. Cheers, everyone.